me again. Today I'm going to try to make a short video from my car. See how that works out. Anyway, this is a follow-through for the last video, which was about many things, roughly. It was titled Doctors, Drug, Police, Play. And in that video we discussed how visiting a witch doctor started me on a chemical problem which introduced me to our fine police department. And how my brothers played their part in there. And I just figured out something that was kind of scary. I mentioned how when I got out of summer camp, the insane asylum, when I got out of summer camp, my fantastic brothers, who I cared about tremendously, they kept refusing to answer questions, and how that confused me and terrified me. It just turned me into a horrible mess, even beyond what I'd already been through from the cops. Well, what I just realized today is that they weren't just ignoring me. When they put me in summer camp, I became invisible. As soon as I went into summer camp, they made me invisible, and I no longer existed. So when I came out of summer camp, I invited Ken to dinner, as I said, but we never really talked about anything. It's like we weren't there. It's like there was no dinner happening. And it's just fascinating because Ken and Steve, well, Steve today, he did write me a letter because I tried to drive down to North Carolina, and I told him, and he said I wasn't welcome there anyway. He finally talked to me. He said words. And
continue on the current road in 2 miles.
That's my driver. I got a chauffeur. But he said I started being abusive, and that's why he doesn't want me around. Well, the truth is that when I got out, they treated me like I didn't exist anymore. I'd call them up, and they would hang up really fast, and everything was invisible, and all I had to talk to was the answering machine. They wouldn't talk to me directly, and I really needed to talk to somebody. And I started jumping up and down saying, "Hey, I'm over here, guys, I'm over here." And I started being started throwing stuff in Ken's yard just to see if he noticed, because if I was a ghost, that stuff couldn't be real, right? Because ghosts can't throw real things. I mean, sure, Patrick Swayze can move a penny up a wall, but, you know, stuff in the yard, that's real stuff. I don't think you can do that. Like a pop can, stuff like that. Ghosts can't do that. So anyway, hold on.
Continue on the current road in 0.5 miles.
Thank you. Anyway, so it got so frustrating because I had real questions and they wouldn't answer. And one time I called up Steve's answering machine, and I referred to his daughter as someday she'll become a $2 hooker.
Continue on the current road.
I like her. I told Steve's answering machine that I thought Erica would someday be a $2 hooker. And that's the rudest thing you can say about a guy's daughter. That is the most horrible thing you can say about a guy's daughter. He never called me. He didn't complain. He didn't say a word. He just used it as an excuse to ignore me. Well, Steve, you were already ignoring me. You never answered any of my questions. And then when I got upset, you said you were ignoring me because I got upset. Well, bucko, you got a funny calendar in your head. You have to... They've done everything they can to justify their stand, but They were cowards. From the get-go, the problem that the police placed at their feet was, something they didn't want to deal with. But they had to, and it was kind of good in a way, because if they can lock me away, they'd never have to deal with me again. But I got out. What a horror! Dave got out! Run for your lives! But the ignoring me never went away. That has been non-stop. Except when they can't avoid it. And then they go into panic mode. Dave's here! Run for your lives! And the village people run and scream and... Jeez. You know, it's times like this I wish I was an only child. By the way, Don up there in Charles City, I understand why you don't want to see us. Don Funty, Dad's first son. You don't want to know us. We're morons. We're freaking morons! By the way, beautiful view, eh? I think I'm somewhere in Kentucky. I'm not quite sure. They should really label these places. They label them on the map, but oh, look at that. No sign saying, you know, Kentucky. They really should do that. I'm somewhere between Nebraska and someplace. North Carolina. I started driving down there thinking, okay, if Steve saw me face to face his door, he would have some compassion. He would say, I'm not a crazed maniac, even though on this video I may appear to be so. But what actually happened was I realized that if I showed up at the door, he'd say, oh no, Dave's out, run for your lives! And then he'd call the police, and they'd haul me away again, because they like doing that. They love putting people in handcuffs, because they're not nice people. But anyway, it goes back to what the video said the other day. It said that if you want to confuse somebody, if you have a confused person on your hands, what you want to do is tell them nothing. And even beyond that, no bomb, no hands. And even beyond that, treat them like they don't exist. That'll kill them. That was me. I don't exist. This camera is not being held. And I'm not talking here. You're watching a blank video. Did you know that? Yeah. I gotta switch lanes because the car is about to crash into me. And he probably doesn't want that. Although I am a ghost, he can't crash into me. That's nice being a ghost. There's a Loves up there. I'd sure like to know what a Loves is. Of course, I got the video on short-term focus, so you probably didn't catch that. Beautiful day. So that answers the question. I used to think that Ken and Steve weren't answering my questions. That was frustrating on a certain level. But then I finally realized I became invisible. They could no longer see me. So, as happens a lot with inconvenient relatives, doesn't it? So I hear movies of the week, soap operas, that kind of thing. You know, the real art. The inconvenient people disappear, and should they show their ugly heads, oh no, Dave's out, run for your lives! I like saying that. So, Erica and Matthew, Steve's children, you no doubt think I'm crazy. And I am. Everyone is. Your father, your mom, and your Uncle Ken. I think God's crazy. You know? So before you condemn me, condemn God for making us. Because, damn, that was a stupid idea. I think that's all I have for now. Sayonara.